All righty, thank you. We now call the meeting to order at 6:34. Thank you, Pastor Tom Ebert. Ms. Tammy, you'll do roll call?
Ms. Carter,
Here.
Mr. Hibbard,
Here.
Ms. Klein,
Here.
Ms. Huffman. Here. Ms. Enlow. Here. Mr. Newton.
Here.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, approval of the minutes. This is the April 11th, 2022 regular meeting minutes.
Motion.
Motion by Kenny. Kenny? Yeah, got a second in there.
Lisa.
That was Kenny was
Deb.
first and
Deb.
Deb was second, yeah. Okay, those in favor, signal with hand raised. Okay, 6 on roll, okay. Next we have another approval. It's another minutes that was taken as a special meeting we had. That was 4/14/2022. To entertain a motion.
I'll make them up.
Sound like Stacy?
She did, I'll second it.
Okay, Deb first. Then we have Stacy as a second. Those in favor, signal by hand raised. Okay,
I'm
Lisa?
gonna abstain, I
Okay,
wasn't here.
abstain, you was gone, okay, so it's 5 and 1 abstain. Okay, moving along, we got new business. This is going to discuss an interlocal agreement with Bullitt County Fiscal Court and the City of Shepherdsville for road maintenance. They had theirs on the last fiscal court meeting. I guess it'd be wrong to say if it was passed or not, because we're gonna vote on it tonight. I'm gonna sway, keep it neutral. Okay. All right, Tammy, you ready?
Yes. Interlocal agreement by and between Bullitt County Fiscal Court and the City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Interlocal cooperation agreement by and between the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County, Kentucky and the City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky pursuant to the Interlocal Cooperation Act, KRS 65.210 et sec, for the purpose of road maintenance and improvement. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County, Kentucky, the county, and the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky, the city, desire to enter into an interlocal cooperation agreement, the agreement, pursuant to KRS 65.210 et sec, for the purpose of construction, reconstruction, or maintenance of a municipal road or bridge. Now therefore be it resolved by the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County, Kentucky, and the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky as follows. 1. This agreement shall be effective May 1, 2022, and terminate on April 30, 2023. 2. This agreement shall be administered by the Bullitt County Judge Executive or his designee. 3. This agreement is formed for the purpose of construction, reconstruction, or maintenance of a municipal road or roads or bridge or bridges. 4. This agreement shall be financed as follows. The county shall provide all equipment and labor to perform the road work. Further, the city shall pay the cost of all materials therewith. Billing for all materials shall be directly to and paid for by the city. 5. Notwithstanding the termination date set forth herein, this agreement may be terminated at any time by a proper vote of the fiscal court or the city council if deemed in the public interest to do so. 6. In the event of early termination of this agreement, any and all property acquired pursuant to this agreement shall be disposed of by the county in accordance with applicable law, and any funds resulting from such disposal shall be divided and distributed evenly between the county and the city. 7. The city shall indemnify, defend, and hold harmless the county and all its officers, employees, and agents from any and all suits, actions, or claims of any character due to any injury or damage arising from the performance of work pursuant to this agreement, and to any injury or damage arising from the performance of work pursuant to this agreement, and, I think that was a carryover. 8. A certified copy of this agreement shall be filed with the Kentucky Secretary of State as required by KRS 65.290. Considered and adopted at a regular meeting of the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County, Kentucky on the 19th day of April 2022. Considered at a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky on the 25th day of April 2022.
All
And
right,
Mayor, it looks like
yeah.
it was approved.
Looks like it
It's been
was
signed
approved. I wanted to wait till
by
we get
Judge
there.
Executive Summers.
Okay.
Yes.
And they're magistrates, okay. Okay.
It's a very straightforward agreement. They're gonna provide the equipment and the labor. We pay for the materials. It's very
And Tom
straightforward
already has
agreement.
some roads lined up to be paved, don't we? Okay, entertain a motion?
So.
Oh, well, let's go with the motion and second. then we'll-
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Lisa,
Second.
okay, it's Lisa Carter and Stacy Klein, second. Okay, discussion.
So we're not gonna pay their workers anything for the work that they do, we're just gonna pay for materials
That's
only?
correct.
Yes,
And they're in
That's correct.
agreement with that?
yeah, they agreed to that, yeah.
But yeah, and they signed it, yep.
Yeah, and our,
So it's-
our part, money would be out of the MAP funding, so,
Yeah.
MAP funding,
It's
so that's great.
government agencies working together, which is a really good thing.
Yeah, so that's kind of them to do that, so. Any other questions?
It's been done in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been,
yeah.
yeah, we did
It's pretty standard.
High School Drive, member, just not too long ago, it went really well.
Came here.
yeah.
They did it all the time.
They did all the time,
Like
Stacy?
when Joe
No.
saw them with them.
Okay, all right, good. Okay,
Is there any indication about how much time we'll be able to use them? How many projects they'll be able to help us with?
did they say, Tom?
I've spoke to Robert in detail about this, and unfortunately, it'll be based on their schedule.
Based on their
That's
schedule?
something we can't control and we
Okay.
wouldn't really know.
Yeah, they'll cover county roads first, obviously, that's their duty to do that.
So,
Okay.
so is, Adam Shepherd by any chance gonna be the first road? I think we get the most,
Shepherd was not on our list with the county originally, that's not to say it can't be now, but it
so
was not on our list originally.
if they're not gonna do that, are there gonna be any fillings of those holes anytime soon?
There will be,
Okay,
with
cause,
the committee this week.
okay, the citizens are burning my phone up and,
Yeah, he got a purchase order for
All
that
right.
today, the fielder. Okay, any other questions? Okay, all in favor, a hand raise, or say aye? Okay, 6-0. All right, thank you. And Tammy, can you see that this gets to the Secretary of State? I guess you want us to.
Oh, yeah,
sign
we
it?
all need to sign it.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, thank you. All right, next, Darren Patchen. Could you introduce yourself, your legal title to everybody?
Major Darren Patchen, Shepherdsville Police Department.
Thank you, sir.
In front of you guys are some proposals from the police department for budget moves to be conducted. The first one is the insurance that we received for Dash, $15,000. We'd like that money allocated to our K-9 unit expense line item, which is 5334. Along with that, in our restricted donation account is $50,599. We would like that allocated to the same line item for K-9. We have 2 K-9s lined up, training lined up, so now we have to start spending money. And of course, we have to get some kennels, equipment, all the fun stuff. So the training should be 2 handlers plus a trainer. The training starts in June, the 2 dogs, so the money that is in the restricted donations, will be, you know, we moved to line item, but it'll be tracked by Tanya. So any money, so only certain things can come out of that restricted funds. The second item is the college tuition of $7,500. We're not going to use that this year. We would like that reallocated to 5215 under department supplies, so we can continue to update some of our outdated equipment. And then the third item, under 4401 miscellaneous expense reimbursement, we have $27,143.27. What that comes from is the reimbursement we get from the Board of Education and from the Greater Hardin County Task Force. Obviously, fuel being a serious issue with our budget this year,
Yeah.
we would like that money recognized and allocated into our fuel expense. And we believe that 27,000 will get us, it'll be close, it'll get us right to July, or maybe a week or 2 before July will run out of money again. But it'll put us right in there.
Okay,
I make a motion that we do these, budget moves.
okay, motion Bonnie and Lo, need a second? Okay, second is Deb. Okay, any discussion?
I was gonna make a motion to table it, cause I had just gotten this information this evening and I haven't got to look at any of it, so, y'all can go ahead and vote.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and no vote for Mike and,
And no vote.
no, okay, no for Mike, okay.
No.
Pass forward.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome, thank you. All right, next, new business, this is, Brenda Wiedenkamp is going to be, if approved through the council, to the position of city clerk, and Tammy Richmond will assume the duties of the deputy city clerk. And the reason she's doing that, because she's training her. she'll continue training, and it won't be effective till May 1st, but it has to have council approval. So your chief of police and your clerk has to be approved from your city council and mayor's council form of government, so. So, let me see, we talked about that before. I had Tammy call KLC to even clarify that, and they said, it has to be approved through the council, it can be done, it has to be approved through the council that way. And then, so I checked with her on civil service also, that it's appointed position, so it's a little bit tricky there, so.
I make
Okay.
a motion to accept.
Okay, it was Bonnie and Lo.
I'll second it.
Okay, Stacy Klein. Okay, those in favor? See, two here. Okay, four of them, two others, y'all, no,
No,
or,
no vote,
no
because,
vote. Mike, no vote.
I'm gonna abstain on this one because
Okay, no one sustain. Okay,
I had received some time back, conflicting information on this position and appointment, so.
okay. All right, next, we'll go with old business, further discussion on the fence, on First Street Park, further discussion on contracting mowing out of the outlots throughout Shepherdsville. And this is a follow-up where you came, and they were notified about that, so.
Yes, basically what we're looking to do, Mayor and Council, is, if you guys would amend the budget in a manner that would allow us to take money from our salary and put it into a line item for the contractors, for the outlot mowing for the city. That line item is 5730.
Okay, I was gonna say, do you have the number? 5730, because they need to
Take
make
it
for the.
out of the salaries, put it into 5730. That's the contractor that would allow us to pay these folks.
Okay,
I'm gonna say 28,000, that would be the most it would be, most likely it would come in under that.
Was it like
Okay. Not gonna be able to mow every week.
$930 a month or something?
I'm sorry?
Was it $930 a
That's
month?
correct. No, a mowing.
A mowing?
930 per mowing.
That's right,
Yes.
okay.
okay,
So if they mow
Okay.
once a week, it basically worked out about $25,000.
And you gave us a list of the lots, so.
yeah, and also it was three, you got three quotes too, didn't you? Okay, all right, well, entertain a motion?
Motion.
Motion for Bonnie. Need a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Stacy, you got
We
that,
get a
Bonnie?
little more discussion on this.
Yes, yeah,
As far as the, I know the part-timers was why, that's why you hire them, is to do the mowing. So are we not hiring part-time now because of this?
Out of 3 weeks of advertising,
He
we
can't
received
get anybody.
1 application.
one person.
But I'm just saying, if we're not gonna need the part-time anyway, if we're gonna.
We could still use seasonal, a seasonal person for sure, a minimum of 1, because when we're out blacktopping, it becomes a safety issue.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, I just, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I just got this list this evening about things you're doing. I had asked for a list of all the city employees, so we know how many we got in each department and such. And with everything that you're doing over there, I would almost think that at least for this year, we might be more responsible to see about just bidding the mowing out entirely to free up the few people that we have in Public Works to do the work. Obviously, there's going to be much more work to be done in the park. And I know there's comments all around about the cleanliness of the streets and the trash and everything like that. So if that is a major consumption of time and resources, maybe for the short term, we should take that burden off of our Public Works Department and let them concentrate on some of these other things.
Well,
We had gotten a quote in the past, several years ago on the park, and it was a pretty astronomical number. It was in excess of $60,000. We never put it to bid. It was just 2 quotes that we got, just kind of testing the waters to see where we were. That was for the park per season.
that's quite
Is
quite a
that
bit of
one-
money.
No, I meant,
Is that one time a week too?
That was for that, that was a month, that was monthly. For that quote.
60,000 a month,
Cause sometimes one time a week mowing ain't enough.
Right.
yeah.
that's true.
And especially in
All
the
right.
park where you,
Okay,
I would suggest we look into it. Like I said,
Well, we can-
those were years ago. And,
I'd say we can talk about it on the budget hearing, the budget meeting we're having this Thursday. Yeah, if we wanna bring it
You
up, maybe
need-
get some
you
more
need-
numbers or something.
If we can get the funding for You're having to load equipment, unload equipment, move equipment, you're crossing roadways and so forth. Those are the very most time-consuming, mowing projects that we have. The park is not that as consuming for us, because we spend more time on a mower than we do loading it and getting it from A to B and so forth.
Okay, well, that's something maybe we can look at as long as it's with the council approval, and we
But
would,
if we could get this
yeah.
money now, we could at least start that process, and in July, if we need to look at bidding out mowing, I promise you, my guys will not be upset with that.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we got a first and a second, and those in favor? Let me see, two over here, okay. Lisa and Mike is,
Excuse me,
no.
I'll go with that.
Mike's go with that, okay.
No,
Lisa, no?
no.
Okay. All right, so next,
I'm tired of getting this paper at the last minute. You know, I got here early tonight and there's paperwork on my desk and I'm sitting here trying to go through it. So I'm looking for the citizens of Shepherdsville to make sure that the money's being spent correctly, so. It's just a
Okay.
little aggravating. Mike spoke about it the last time. It's a little aggravating to come in here and things be changed and get all this new documentation. We don't have time to sit up here and read, so.
okay, next, Tammy Baker's gonna read second reading of ordinance 022050.
Ordinance number 022-050, an ordinance pursuant to KRS 81A.412, annexing into the city of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky, 24.23 acres of unincorporated territory of property located east of Buffalo Run Road, south of Cedar Grove Road, and owned of record by Zonton Developers, Inc., Kevin L. Magruder and Gary L. Magruder, by consent of all property owners of record of the properties. Whereas Kentucky Revised Statute 81A.412 provides that a city may annex any area meeting the requirements of Kentucky Revised Statute 81A.410 if each of the owners of record of the land to be annexed gives prior consent in writing to the annexation. Be it ordained by the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky. Section 1. The City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky finds that the areas to be annexed described in and depicted on the attached Exhibit A and incorporated herein by reference as if set out in full were adjacent or contiguous to the city's boundaries at the time the annexation proceeding was begun. Section 2. The City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky finds that by reason of population density, commercial, industrial, institutional, or governmental use of land or subdivision of land, the areas to be annexed described in and depicted on the attached Exhibit A are urban in character or suitable for development for urban purposes without unreasonable delay. Section 3. The City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky finds that each of the owners of record of the land to be annexed, described here and below, has given consent in writing to the annexation. Section 4. The City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky does hereby annex the territory described in and depicted on the attached Exhibit A. Section 5. This ordinance shall take effect upon publication. Section 6. Should any section, clause, line, paragraph, or part of this ordinance be held unconstitutional or invalid for any reason, the same shall not affect the remainder of this ordinance. Section 7. Parts of any ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Given first reading at a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky on the 11th day of April 2022. Given second reading at a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky on the 25th day of April 2022.
Okay, thank you, and, as I recall, this is the little spot over there, Buffalo Run. They had, where they sold the rock and all the vegetables and stuff. It never was annexed in the city. So we looked at Secretary of State, it had a little spot right in the middle, so, and it's surrounded by Magruder.
All right, it's
And,
completely surrounded by city.
Yes, so, okay, and that's just annexation then, okay. Okay, so, we'll need action from the council.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Lisa Carter made the first one.
second.
Second, okay, it was Deb Huffman second. Okay,
Hold on just a second.
Yes,
If you
sir.
don't mind, what was the ordinance you just read? Do we have
22-50. 022-050.
It's right here.
Oh, it's still on the front part. Okay, thank you.
okay. All right, first and second, those in favor?
Who, wait a minute,
Oh.
who made the motion, I'm sorry?
Lisa.
Lisa Carter made it, and then
Deb.
Deb Huffman was second. You have to take a note. Okay, those in favor? Five, Bonnie? No? Okay, all right, five, no. All right, next, on the other page, it'd be, C, part C of old business. City Attorney Tammy Baker to have second reading ordinance closing a portion of an alley run between Hester Street and 44. Consent was from KFC.
Ordinance number 022-051, an ordinance providing for the closure pursuant to KRS 82.405 of a right-of-way described herein and depicted on the right-of-way closure plat attached hereto, consent being obtained from all adjoining landowners, said right-of-way being a section of, it's Hester Street, right, Mayor? That's a typo, we'll have to fix that. Being a section of Hester Street. Whereas the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville has determined it to be in the best interest of the health, safety, and welfare of its citizens to close the right-of-way herein described, and whereas the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville has obtained consent from all adjoining landowners to the right-of-way for its closure. Now therefore be it ordained by the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky. Section 1. The right-of-way described in the attached Exhibit A and incorporated herein by reference as if set out in full is hereby closed due to the consent of the adjoining landowners and the determination by the City Council that the right-of-way serves no purpose. Section 2. In support of its determination, the City Council makes the following findings of fact. A. All property owners in or abutting the public way or portion thereof to be closed have been identified. B. Written notice of the proposed closing was given to all property owners in or abutting the public way or portion thereof being closed. And C. All property owners in or abutting the public way or portion thereof being closed have given their written notarized consent to the closing, and copies of the consent are attached hereto. Section 3. This ordinance shall take effect upon publication. Section 4. Should any section, clause, line, paragraph, or part of this ordinance be held unconstitutional or invalid for any reason, the same shall not affect the remainder of this ordinance. Section 5. Parts of any ordinances in conflict with this ordinance or any part of this ordinance are hereby repealed. Given first reading at a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky, on the 11th day of April 2022. Given second reading at a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky, on the 25th day of April 2022.
Thank you. Like I said, this is an old alleyway that was in behind KFC years ago. That never was used and never was taken over or plowed or by the city, was it, Tom, as far as I know. But I think Arthur said way back, so they were just wanting to close it down, so I don't know, maybe so, because it's like an easement or something like that. They've asked several times and it's finally, but we had to get approved to get a bigger plat for Arthur to look at and stuff. So we'll need a first and a second. And then if you all have some discussion, we'll talk about it. Entertain a motion?
Motion.
Okay, Bonnie. Was that Deb? Okay, Bonnie was first and then Deb was second. Okay, any discussion?
So the alleyway, I don't know, most of y'all don't probably have this out here, even though we're talking about up here. This being the KFC up here in the top, the alleyway going behind and then going down the parking lot. So is that the way that I take it? That it's in the parking lot that everybody uses, so, I guess if it gets closed.
Looks like you won't be able to cut through where the drive is, will you? Right?
Yeah,
Drive-through.
that was, so,
People used it all the time, but it was private property, so.
Right.
It looks like it's just an open parking lot. is
Yeah,
what
it looks like open
like.
parking lot,
Yeah.
but actually it's an alley, yeah.
so, people may have to adjust to
Yeah,
when something
that's a good
gets
idea to tell them, so
changed.
be
Yeah.
careful when you try to go
So-
through, KFC that you have to get back out on the road and turn in at the red light there to, yeah. Okay, we got a first and a second? Okay, all in favor? See, three over here, okay, 6-0. All right, thank you. Now, I know of no planning and zoning update, no board of adjustment update, sign-in speakers. Larry Clark? He's already spoke to us anyway. Larry, you want to speak still? Yes. Okay, yeah, come over here. And give your address for the record.
Larry Clark, I live at 240 Stevens Drive. And back in December, there was a storm. And it blew down a tree on the right-of-way on Sparrow, behind my house. It has been there since December, and I would like to know when the city is gonna clean it up.
And Mayor, we did chat about this a little bit before the
before the
meeting.
meeting, yeah.
Mr. Clark brought a survey, and I think we handed it over to Tammy Richmond.
Yeah, we'll make a
We're gonna
copy
make
of
a
that.
copy of it and send it to our engineer, Arthur. Generally, and I don't wanna generalize because that gets you into trouble, but generally, your property line's gonna go to the road, and if the city has an
If
easement
it
along
goes
there,
to
it
the
doesn't mean
road,
the
I'm gonna
city
build a
owns.
fence on
Well,
it.
I hear you.
And
We need our
as
engineer to look at the
I have a
plat.
hard enough time to mow it as it is, plus with a tree on it, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So it's gonna
Okay.
get some tall grass there if you don't get it fixed up.
Okay, well, like I said, we'll make a copy and get this back to
Yeah.
you.
And
But
I
the-
think all the council people have seen a picture of that tree sticking out over the road.
Right. Okay.
It's a very dangerous situation.
Well, if we're allowed to use taxpayer money on that we consider
But
private
what
property.
I will say, though, we'll have our engineer, I didn't mean to
Yeah.
cut you off, Mayor.
Yeah.
We'll have our engineer look at it, but if your property line, I know you say it doesn't, if your property line goes all the way to the road, the
It
city.
does not
I
go
know.
all the way, the road
The
is
city's
what
not gonna
I'm
be able
trying
to
to
remove the
tell
tree.
you.
Yeah.
My fence is the property line, and it's on the street side of my fence. Do
Okay.
you
Well,
understand?
we'll look into it, Larry. All right, thank you.
I'd rather for you not look into it, just get the job done. I'm like Larry, the cable guy, get her done.
Get her done. All right. All right. Well, thank you, Larry. Stephen Phelps, come on up, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Steve Phelps, 295 Lovers Leap Lane, Shepherdsville.
Oh, now, for the record, you don't live in the city limits, right?
That's correct.
Right, okay, good.
So you annex me.
Go ahead. Continue, please.
Two questions primarily this evening. One, more than a year ago, the county and planning and zoning adopted the tourism corridor overlay. This body has yet to do that. I would like to have an answer. I think we would like to have an answer as to why that corridor overlay has not been adopted by the city. I can wait.
Oh, no, we don't answer off the cuff. When you sign in for a sign-in sheet, we just, take it under consideration.
I see.
Yeah, we don't answer right away, because we need to research
So
and stuff.
I'll be getting back with later then, if you take it under consideration.
We haven't spoke about it, but, yeah, you can come back and ask anytime you feel like it.
But, yeah, if I
We
can't,
have not
if I can
adopted
ask the question, but I can't get an answer, coming back and asking the question is not gonna help me any. Cause it's not gonna get me an answer.
Yeah.
I think we all would like to have an answer.
Well, the body hasn't took that decision up yet, so.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, it's been more than
That's
a
in the
year. I
county.
would think that, that would be something that should have been done a long time ago.
That wasn't adopted in the city. We don't adopt what the county does. We don't answer them, they don't answer us. We're our own body. We're responsible for Shepherdsville citizens, Shepherdsville voters, Shepherdsville.
Yes, that's true, but now
Taxpayer.
you have property annexed along Highway 245, which is where the overlay is outlined.
Right.
So doesn't it make sense then the city needs to adopt the overlay if they're gonna have property, if the city boundaries are gonna be out on 245, then they need to adopt this overlay as
I don't know about that.
has been done for planning and zoning.
Yeah. Well, I'm not speaking for or against that overlay. I'm just, like I said, most of the time, I don't even have a vote in anything. I'm the mayor.
Well, and Mayor,
I
if
only
I
vote
could.
this time.
I mean,
Yeah, sure.
I keep cutting you off, so I didn't mean to do that. But no, you can obviously lobby the council, I guess, I mean, that's what you're doing right
Yeah, you
now. I
can
mean, the
email
council
them or
makes the
talk to
decision
them
on whether to adopt
We'd
it or
have to have
not.
4 of them that would wanna,
Because I don't ever remember hearing about it, and I may just forgot, but I would like to see it.
It's a lengthy article, but sure, we can do that.
yeah, maybe if you wanna email it to the council members and then they can.
And you said that was done about a year ago.
A little more than a year ago, yes. Yeah, there was quite an extensive study done for that, so. All right. Second question, and I've heard a lot of talk about budgets and spending and such, but with the occupational tax that is collected by the city from the warehouses, I'm wondering, why aren't these things being taken care of? And I'll leave it at that.
What?
No, she was asking what you said, she was trying to write it down.
She's writing it down, that's all.
Well, I'll be glad to repeat it, Ms. Dan.
Yeah.
I asked the occupational tax that is received by the city from the warehouses, that's obviously going into the budget line items. It seems to me like with all of that money being collected, that all of the items that are being asked for and talked about in this meeting, and as well as I'm sure others, those things should be easily paid for.
Thank you, Stephen. All right, Herb? Give your address and name.
Herb Hibbs, 1185 Castleman Branch. I appreciate Mr. Hibbert and Ms. Carter bringing that up, how you all are getting stuff at the last minute. I think there needs to be a little bit more planning done to show respect for you all as council members and the mayor, and also for us as citizens to know what's going on, and you all been able to do a thorough investigation into everything that you all have to turn around and try to adopt tonight. And for us to have questions or whatever, I know if we thinking that, sitting out here and we think we have questions about it, I know you all have twice as many questions of what's going on, where's the money spent? Because there's always something that's not listed or something that's in there that's not getting paid or is getting paid that you all didn't know was in there till after the fact. So I think them having a better planning to get the stuff to you all, whether it be a week, whether it be 2 weeks, something ahead of time, so when you come to this meeting, you've already read over all the documents, you ain't shuffling all your papers and you're trying to read as fast as you can to turn around and vote on something. That's my 2 cents on that one. And I know Mr. Hibbert brought up the stuff, where are we at with the ARPA fund? I know
We're
what the-
discussing that in a little bit.
Okay, thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, Herb. All right, next, department reports, let me see, I think, Lane, did you have one? Yeah, I think Lane did.
Kind of goes with it. The 28th, about the fire truck, I sent an email out today. I just need to make sure that it's put on the agenda for the 28th meeting, on the budget meeting, so we can discuss it that night.
Thursday budget meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll make sure it's on. Next, Tom, you have anything?
I do.
Okay, sure.
Council, I had, last year during our budget, we had talked about purchasing mowers, and we did. We had also talked about surplusing some mowers. When we spoke to the GovBids folks, they recommended we wait until this spring to sell them, that we would get more out of them. So we have not sold those yet, and what you see in front of you are those units that we would like to surplus and get on there for sale.
So how many units do you have after you've taken these off your list?
6 total.
Okay, so you'd like to have action from the council?
Yes, we'd like to surplus them and get those sold. This is a peak time for mowers to be sold on GovBids, per GovBid folks.
And, could you come back and give us the total, what you got for all them?
Oh, absolutely.
Uh,
And
Do
of
you
course-
set a reserve on,
I'm
do you set a
sorry?
reserve on them or no?
We can, yes.
We'll need to put that in the motion.
Yes.
In the,
And after speaking with the young lady at GovBids, she's recommending us put $1,000 on each one.
Okay.
And they're currently trending to be sold for somewhere between, $2,500 to $5,000 each. So,
Yeah, so we need that in the motion.
we've got a couple of them that'll be closer to that 2,500 or less.
Okay.
Could we add to that motion as well? Could we also have a list of every person that purchases those and their address, so we know that they were sold correctly?
When they're sold on GovBids,
They do
I'm
provide a
assuming
list.
we can get that information.
I would like to have that, if you don't
But,
mind.
the money is paid to GovBids. Once they're all sold, only then will GovBids cut the city a check. So it's all taken care of by GovBids at that point. We
And-
have,
we get some kind of confirmation, right? You or
We-
Tammy would get, maybe that's what you're
Yes,
wanting.
we'll get a
Yeah,
confirmation.
I know they will provide,
I don't know how detailed it is,
GovDots,
but I
they
know
do
we will
provide
have.
who, every individual that purchases whatever they bid, they will
Yeah.
provide a
Yeah, if you
name.
can look into as much as possible that. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
we'll-
we have to do it by their guidelines. That's above us, so.
Okay. And, when you inquire and ask them if they have a way to see, who sold, who bought it, or who.
Tammy might know the answer to that. When we did that with those vehicles that were so old, did we get documentation automatically? Do you recall?
No, we printed everything out, and when they came to pick it up, I did have to have, the vehicle title registration thing. We did fill that out. I did
Yeah.
have that information.
I'm assuming it's gotta be some type of public information.
That's
Yeah.
on vehicles.
I
I
would
don't
assume.
know about
As long as we can get that.
something that's not
that-
registered.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, if we entertain a motion with that in there, the reserve of at least 1,000, and try to get the information on who purchased and won the bids on the vehicles, on these properties, so entertain a motion. Okay, Kenny, and
I'll
is it,
second it.
okay, and the second, is that with that, what he talked
Yes.
about, the
$1,000
1,000?
reserve on
$1,000
each,
reserve.
providing the confirmation of the sale.
Confirmation of the sale does,
To the
okay.
council.
Same thing, Stacy? Okay, she seconded that one too, okay. Okay, those in favor, signal by hand raised. Okay, 6-0. All right, Tom, thank you.
Thank y'all.
Was there also information on the tank?
I've got information on the tank.
Yes, yes.
We
I know
just,
Kenny, I think Kenny wants to hear it.
you beat Kenny to it. We just got the drawings today. And I don't know if the mayor's got to see those yet. The mayor basically has to sign off on that. Then there will be a check cut for 50% or something. Then the tank goes into production. But all of this leading up to this day has been part of that 12-week period, so
Awesome.
we're
Good news.
inching along. So,
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
thank y'all.
Now, I know of no other department head reports. Next, we'll have council comments. Well, let me see, I want to know, is there anybody here, including the council, running for office for primary and general election? If you are, would you please stand? If you're running for primary and general election, please stand. We want to thank you, and also up here too also, if you're running for anything in primary and general election. So thank you for wanting to be involved in the community and trying to touch those. And like I said, government's really needs prayers and needs guidance and direction. So Bonnie, would you like to say something? Just maybe 30 seconds.
30 seconds, that's hard to come up with something.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Just thank,
We're gonna get started in 30 seconds.
everybody get 30 seconds. So if you would,
Well, welcome anybody who wants to run for
yes,
our
please,
office.
please run.
And I'm gonna tell you, it's a lot harder on this side than it is on that side. When you start learning how you're allowed to do things in the government. And so it's not as easy as when I get in, I'm gonna do this. I had to learn all that the first time I ran. So, and you get banged on a lot and everything, but don't believe everything you read and everything you hear.
And would you also state the office that you're running for?
And I'm
Yeah.
running for city council.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next.
I'm Stacy Dawson Klein, and I'm running for Shepherdsville Mayor.
Thank you.
Deb Huffman, running for city council again.
Okay, we'll go ahead, I'll come back to Tammy. Go ahead,
That's
Kenny.
for saving the best for last, that's for cutting you off.
Just let me cut you off when you cut the mayor out today.
Oh, yes, what happened when you cut them off?
Goes
Well, go
around,
ahead,
comes
don't bring
around.
Stacy in, go ahead. Go ahead, Tammy.
Tammy Baker, I'm running for county attorney, keep it very brief.
Okay.
Kenny Newton running for Shepherdsville City Council again.
Lisa Carter, I'm running for the Shepherdsville mayor's position.
Get 30 seconds if y'all want to speak, so.
Oh, that's okay, there's other people.
Okay, okay.
Joe.
Next, who's next?
Joe Kaufman, I'm running for Shepherdsville City Council.
Cool. Who else we got? Herb?
Herb Hibbs runs for First District Magistrate.
Okay. Anybody else? Who else is up there? Back in the back, ma'am?
Paula Magnus, I'm running for City Council.
We're at Shepherdsville? Cool, okay. Anybody else? Oh, back here with their,
Yes, sir. Kay Martin, running for the Fourth District Constable, Boulder County.
cool. You're welcome, sir.
Tony Thompson, running for Boulder County Judge Executive. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, thank you.
Jose Cabral, I'm running for Mayor.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Paul?
Paul Ham, I'm running for Fourth District Magistrate. Appreciate it if you live in Fourth District. Vote for me, please. Thank you.
Okay, and like I said, thank you for your interest in the running and being involved in city government. And like I said, I believe the Lord puts people in those positions, it says in the book of Romans. So good luck to all y'all, prayers to all y'all, so thank you so much. All right, now, council comments, let me see. Lisa, you want to go?
Yes, anything on CSX about the repairs? Did you already ask? I'm sorry, I didn't
Isn't
hear
that
that.
terrible? I've seen the truck out there 2 or 3 times, I thought they was working on it.
Have we paid those folks yet this year?
What was that now?
I said, have we paid those folks for their $13,000?
I'm not sure. Cause that'd be a good thing to say whenever we talk to them. Can you check with Tanya, see, yeah, okay, we're gonna check on that.
The other thing, I know there's several employees sitting in here, and I don't really wanna pick on the employees. I don't wanna make it a hostile work environment. But the employees that are in here, if you all received your employee handbook, would you just kind of throw your hand up? I'd like to know if you all received your handbooks. Did any of the council receive the new handbook for the employees that you all worked on and we voted on?
Not a printed copy like they got.
I thought I had asked the mayor about this in executive session maybe a month or so ago, and he said, yeah, those were in, but I, as a council member, have not received that book, which is a book that we all could use to refer to. So, if those books are in-house, I would like mine as a council member. And, Mr. Pageant, did we ever sell that Harley motorcycle?
We did.
And how much did that bring? And who bought that? Do you have any idea?
It's in our revenue file.
Yeah, could you maybe copy that and send that to the council? Thank you. That's all I have this evening.
You're welcome. Ms. Kenny, go ahead.
Yeah, Tom, what about basketball courts? Have we looked in any more into that to try to get those back over the park?
We have, we're currently, we're struggling with pricing right now on blacktop and labor. Everyone is so busy. And I'll give you a great example. I still do not have pricing on Adam Shepherd. That's 5 weeks in,
Wow.
so.
That's all I have.
Oh, Deb, you got anything?
I'm good today.
Okay, Stacy?
I also was gonna ask about the roads, but you answered that question, so.
Okay.
And just to let everyone know, not to cut you off, but again, weather permitting, last week the weather was terrible, we couldn't do it. Weather permitting this week, we're gonna be out there patching potholes, we're gonna go ahead and start with Adam Shepherd.
Good.
And we'll be doing that every week until we get caught up at that point.
No. Thank you.
I would like the names of the people that are on the civil service and the ethics committee and when their time is up. You
Okay,
just
can
shoot
we
me an
email that to
email with that, or
Yeah.
put a copy in my box, it's fine. That's all I have.
All right, Mike, you got anything?
I know, I just have some, I have some concerns. I know back in 2018, I believe, council took out a $3 million loan to do road projects, which included Adam Shepherd as part of that. Now I understand, with what information I have to date, is that the loan that we've taken out, or the money we've been advanced and spent is almost paid back. But there's very little left to do Adam Shepherd. And I personally don't see with our ARPA money and maybe with our MAP money and any other funds we come up with, I hate to invest in temporary repairs if we can get on this thing and do it. Instead of filling the hole and then come behind it and chew it up and lay asphalt again. Just a matter of efficiencies in my mind. And I'll get with Tanya, I guess, and I'd like to know just where we stand on that loan, because it seems to me there was maybe only half of what we originally intended to be done was done, and we're out of money.
Doesn't bring that up Thursday, too.
Well, I'll talk to Tanya tomorrow, I guess, and see if she's got figures on it. The hard part is because so many of us, back when our former controller stated that our software that we were purchasing, that we've got, I don't know, $150,000, $60,000 somewhere in there, and the last I heard, that we were going to be able to take our laptops, access the city documents, not change anything, read only, and see live time, just exactly where a department stood, where a line stood, right now, without changing anything.
still in forecast.
Well, according to the last information I had, I asked Tanya and I said, are we gonna be able to do that? And she says, I don't think so. So, I don't know, I hate to use the term lied, but, you know, somebody, I think, surely misrepresented the capabilities of what we bought. And now we can't do what we were told we could do. And I think it's gonna be detrimental. So, I'll pursue that.
You ready for me? Ready to go?
Oh, yeah, I was thinking for a minute, I might not have been, but I'm
Okay,
done.
I wanted to
How's
make
that?
sure. Okay, the first thing I wanted to just say is about getting the information at the last minute. I can show you on my phone with some of that information we got at 12:20 today, so it was not completely at the last minute. So it's not always at the last minute, maybe somebody didn't look at their email or something like that, but some of the stuff that we got, we did have beforehand. Just want you to know that. And as far as the handbook, we all got electronic copies, the council did, of the handbook. We just didn't get printed copies, but we do have copies of them in our email. Cause I was on that committee and I know what we got, so. And my last is the ARPA funds. I gave what department heads are here and everybody here on the council. We're still working on these ARPA funds. I'm still listening to what everybody has been saying. I know I didn't have included on here, Deb wanted to add something for the beautification committee, and I told her, I said, well, we would have to look at these funds and see if we wanted to pull it from one of the other ones. So that's something that we need to discuss. I've talked to Tom about the Park and Rec. Of course, that money has to actually have a project. So he's gonna work on designing the projects that we need, so those ARPA funds go specifically to those projects, specifically for the amount. All I'm doing this as far as to keep us up to date with it and see what your all suggestions are, what you agree with or don't agree with, so that we can get moving and get this put behind us, so we don't have to be focusing on it anymore. But I put in there that he wanted road projects and drainage, so I've set some aside on there. These are not my figures, this is just me guesstimating what they'll be, but I need input from you all. We have to make this decision as a group, and nobody's talking.
Was the clarifier still on there?
Premium.
No, the clarifiers are not on there.
Well, that was my suggestion when we first started. I think I publicly said that we needed clarifiers, so we didn't have to raise our
Yeah,
sewers.
so maybe you can pencil in clarifiers and
66%.
beautification.
Yeah, that's where we replaced the clarifiers with drainage and road projects.
Mhm.
Well, it should be included in there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll come out of two separate budgets. Won't it?
Yes, it'll come
Yeah.
out two separate budgets.
Mhm.
Some of this will be spent now and
Okay.
some will get spent later when
Yeah.
we get the other half.
Right.
This is just going for the total. So what we have to do is decide any of this, and department heads can help tell us on some of this monies that we have on there. If they need less, then we can go less with their
Right.
project to put towards someone else. I don't have a problem with it going to clarifiers or beautification. We just gotta figure out the money amount.
Yeah. Good.
And I don't wanna do it all by myself here, I'm not getting any vocal from anybody.
Cammy, I have a question on that, please. And the clarifiers bring up a great example, just for my knowledge and anyone else who's interested. Let's say that a clarifier costs us $1 million.
Okay.
If we put $500,000 into a clarifier, we cannot start and finish that project. Can we use ARPA funds in a scenario like that, or does it have to be a project that will be completed?
You mean you put money toward a project? We can do that.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
We've done it in one of the other municipalities that I represent. Yes, we can do that. And because the council adopted the $10 million general revenue loss,
This
it
council did,
really,
yeah.
this council did.
Yeah.
It really opened up what that money can be used for, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
So it can, yes. But we just have to document what the money was and where that money went. Yes, absolutely, but we can.
Yeah, so like I said before, and I know y'all spoke on this too, if you need a shovel-ready project to give to the council, and, and get something done, it'd be so nice instead of having hodgepodge stuff to get something done here. So if you get that shovel ready, and we can make a resolution for it, so, okay, I'm sorry, Bonnie, go ahead.
That's okay, so I just need for you, the department heads, to look at these and see if these amounts are okay, or if you can take less, so we can put it towards something else that we're needing. I just need some feedback on it, so that we can get closer to getting the resolutions done and getting past this on to the next thing.
And I'll tell you, Mayor, just to go back to what Tom had asked,
Yeah.
we're working very closely with Jennifer at KIPTA, so any of these questions that we do have, if we're not sure, does the project qualify, she's pretty on it with getting back with us, letting us know what we can do and can't do. So if we ever had a question like that, we'd also reach out to Jennifer at KIPTA just to make sure, because she's doing our reporting and making sure that we're doing everything the right way.
That's all I have.
Is that it?
If I might ask, at the last meeting, and Tammy Baker, you mentioned that, we needed to assign projects
Yes,
to a resolution.
yes,
And you mentioned that if we're doing 2 or 3 simultaneously or close together, we could include those 3 in one resolution
yes.
with the roads or drain or any of them, park, okay?
It may be cleaner to do separate resolutions if we're doing, we want this money in the park, this money on
Yeah.
roads. But a resolution all for roads, like listing all the roads, it may be, we can do it
Right.
all in one, but it may be cleaner.
Okay, but what
and
I'm
easier to
saying,
keep up
what I'm
with.
saying is that, in here, there was proposals of monies in categories. So if you designate a project, just say 2 projects, okay? And it costs X number of dollars. And we have suggested an amount for that, item. Is that only approved for those items and then, or can you designate, like you said, a lump sum, more or less, for roads or for this or that?
It has to be specific.
So as you go along, it totals, and as you
Yes.
do this resolution and this one in different categories,
Yes,
it eats away at the total.
yes, and Tammy's exactly right, it has to be a specific,
So that's
and the
why
money
the
we
city-
spend has to match what we put in the resolution. So if it ever happened that we said, we're gonna spend 300,000 to fix Adam Shepherd, and it costs
Okay.
350, whatever it is, we
Right.
then do a new resolution to
Right,
fix that,
you
but
amend it.
yes,
Okay.
we have to specify the project and the amount of money for that project,
Very good.
yeah.
And Tom's gonna work some of these, like this drainage and the road projects. He'll be able to come up with an amount he needs. He may not need as much as I put on there,
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's right.
Yeah.
cause he's still got MAC funds and everything, so. But this is just suggestions to get us started. And I'll need a beautification committee tell me how much do they want.
That was another thing. If you don't mind, Tammy, could you put a note? We're gonna have, the public's invited. We're having another beautification meeting this Wednesday evening at 6:30 in this same council room. So anyone's invited to come if you can make it.
This
Wednesday, the
Was
27th,
it
6:30.
Then maybe you can answer that question after your
Yes,
meeting.
yes.
All right, good, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, we don't have no executive session, do we?
Not that I am aware of. Mayor.
Okay, entertain a motion.
Motion.
Oh, Lisa tried to get in.
Lisa was first.
Where's Mike in this thing?
Tis month,
Kenny was second.
tis month.
Not if Lisa has anything to say about it.
Okay, all in favor? Carry 6-0, okay, thank you guys for coming, everybody.
Lisa was gonna steal your thunder, Kenny.
I'm sorry,
Now
Kenny.
watch her.
Yeah.
I don't know you were running.
Mike didn't get
How
the
did I
first
not
hand
get
up.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, he's right, she's right.
Get it, girl.
I know.
you know what, you were sitting at my table, I'll make sure it didn't fall into one of my boxes, because I found my eyeglasses in one of my boxes.
They were my sons.
I will check every box that I brought home, and everything that was there I took home to my garage, so I will check every single box. Absolutely. And we didn't leave, just play what's on Facebook, we didn't leave.
It's a matter of, myself personally, I thought it might be a good idea for down there to preserve along what they wanted for the, Bourbon Trail.
Yeah.
But I think, and that's the only area that it covers right now.
Right.
And the warehouse is being proposed down there on the Myers property. Since Myers is in the city, there's no absolute legal requirement that they abide by any of it. But they are, their design and everything is going along with what that recommended. And of course, there's still, you know. Anyway, I kind of thought,
He makes me nervous.
if they wanted to extend it on down there, I don't know how far it goes, totally. And there's probably a lot